happens every time. This happens every time. For some reason, the they can't hear you. Okay, now they can hear you.
Are we going? Are we live?
We're live.
Am I loud enough, by the way? Do I need to turn myself up?
You're good.
For sure. I could be louder.
No. Dude, how many more you got?
I got a couple. I got Cricketune from Pokemon.
Okay.
Sizable amounts.
That's FNAF.
Good.
I got
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, that's enough.
You do not care.
You ever start a stream with all of your soundboard at the same time?
Did now.
Presses all of it. Hello, everybody. It's been a bit. We're back to
UMINEKO.
Betray! Oh
God, I forgot I have a job to do now.
Yeah.
Let me switch things.
So
I've come out of like a week-long flu coma. So
yeah.
this is gonna be the stream ever, I think.
Oh shit! What are we cracking open?
Is a squirt?
Dude, you're squirting right now?
I'm squirting.
Dude, holy fuck!
It's
all over the screen.
I have an Arby's cup that I just finished, and it still has ice in it, so I'm now pouring the squirt into the Arby's.
Whoa! The squirt in the Arby's cup kind of goes really hard, I think.
Squirting.
Now the beverage. There we go.
Hooray! But yeah, so last time.
Unfortunately, no codeine syrup to add this time. And green dye.
Aw, snap. So last time on UMINEKO, some shit went down. Rudolph and Kyrie decided to be a power couple for real. I think Kyrie survived, or no, Kyrie died. I think.
No, they got owned.
No, they both got, but they took out at least one of them. Took out at least one of the. I think they took out both of the stakes actually.
Yeah, I remember Bugs Bunny showed up, and that was
the new furnitures showed up.
Yeah, the new bunny furniture showed up.
The fucking artillery gun fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Jamie, what gift do you want? Show me. You have to. Who am I going to put it on today? I'm going to put it on Shane today. You're gonna have a gift.
Always with the gifts on this one.
Hey, it's always with the gifts.
Always
with the gifts. So too, let me tell you, these kids and the GIFs, the graphic interchange. Graphic.
You mean graphic?
What?
Because you call it GIF.
What?
So it's
Stop lying. Stop lying. As you left tit, I say, stop it.
I don't agree that GIF is incorrect because GIF sounds stupid.
GIF does sound stupid. I agree with you. Because it's
Okay.
graphic. Because it's not graphic. You know?
No, I have this friend in the chat, and we always get into this argument. And he's like, "Well, the guy who invented the first GIF said that it was pronounced GIF," and I always tell him, "I do not care. That sounds stupid. I'm not going to say it like that."
I like JPEGs.
I like JPEG. I like pungus. Give me that pungus.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
This is the GIF. This is the GIF.
Whoa.
GIF of the day.
How can I put? How can I?
Oh, never mind.
How can I put it on Shane without it being too tall?
Beatrice.
You just there you go.
Now she's with us forever. Yay! Okay.
Just add it onto my beard. Just.
Ooh, oh, Beatrice, clap, clap, clap.
Huh? Would you fuck Beatrice? Nah, it's too long to do that. For real.
Probably a good hate fuck.
Would you fuck Beatrice, Shane?
No, I feel like there's too much
Damn,
inherent
really?
risk involved.
Really?
Yeah,
That could be a good point. She might kill you.
Yeah,
Like, to
I
get her
I
net.
want her to kill me. What?
You see, I'm like not a psychopath.
Listen, I know
Well,
the
I
risks.
just don't think that like one, like 6 out of 10 orgasm at best is really worth like being eternally tortured forever. Because you
Yeah.
say that you want that, and then she's gonna like fucking crush you into a meatball with her
Uh-huh.
mind, and then reverse it, and
Yeah.
then do it over and over and over, and you'll just
Yeah.
feel never-ending death.
You forget that in Beatrice's gender and dispossession, I like the pogs, and she's not my type in that.
Damn.
way, you know. She's
She's
not
not thick
fat
enough?
chat.
She's
She's not fat enough.
That's what I'm
chat.
saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So if they made Beatrice thicker, would you do? Is
Fat
I
that
mean,
is that your stipulation?
I'd have to see what that looks like in order to make a judgment.
I can understand that. We would need to reevaluate at that point based on the evidence presented.
Good God. Anyway, good talk. Good talk.
I mean, these are all facts you already knew, but
Yeah.
you just had to shame me publicly.
What's the shame,
What's
bro?
the
I love
shame?
fat bitches.
Yeah, we all like fat bitches here.
My friend group that I do the GTA and Red Dead roleplay with is like, you have a Jamaican like
Oh yeah.
attraction for women. I'm like, you're not wrong, but I don't.
It's like
I
Superman,
don't
bro. You
like
tear
that
away,
you
you
put
tear
it
away
that way.
your shirt, and there's another shirt underneath
With the Jamaican flag. Yeah.
Yeah. Wagwan.
Yes, we love thick bitches here, and if you don't love them, please leave. Anyway, shall we start?
Hold on.
Nope, let's never
Water.
start.
Okay.
Let's sit here and talk until
Okay.
the stream is over.
Here, I can kiss both of you on the head.
Then I'll
Here I
switch
come,
to just
here I
chatting. How many viewers do you think we get
Yeah.
on just chatting?
I'd be scared.
I'm just chatting.
I'd be scared to just chat with you guys. I feel like you'd say
Why,
some
bro?
shit.
Me and Annie in a hot tub, just like, yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
you'd say some shit. I get
Well,
banned.
it's my turn to write someone's name on the board now.
Well, look, I'm gonna say there's a reason I'm gonna stream on YouTube when it's my time.
YouTube, you won't find anything better. I'm gonna be real with you.
No, bro, I'm not gonna stream on this dog shit website. Twitch hates VTubers.
It'd be like that, but I can't stream on YouTube.
Well,
Pain
that's
and
because you're a sellout who's only interested in the money.
Sorry, hold on. I had a bubble.
He's like, I
I'm trying
need
to
my
break it up.
13 cents a year. I need it.
Shut up. Shut up. You're so mean to me.
Yeah, well,
You're
you know,
never
well, it's
nice.
not
You're
fair.
never nice to me.
Right, never.
Never ever nice to me.
Okay.
Shane, did you get rid of the bubble?
30 minutes had
Oh,
already passed
shit.
since Rudolph's group had left the guest house. Shut up. By any measure, their own return was too late. And Kraus and Natsuhi, who waited by the entrance, were reaching the limits of their patience. The chain was set on the door. That was a precaution that in the event of Rudolph's group was attacked and the master key stolen from them. For that reason, they needed to wait by the entrance like this for the others to return.
They really are too late. Don't you think something might have happened to them? No. Oh.
Yeah, you want to take over, bro?
Nope.
You got it?
Nope.
Indeed.
Kraus glanced between his watch and the door, struggling to keep his composure.
If something happened to prevent them from returning.
A terrible thought, but it seems we should ready ourselves for that possibility. So, it really was too reckless after all.
That is what I said. Why did they go outside when they knew it was this dangerous? How foolish. Why go outside even though Rosa-san had just been attacked?
To try and feed their kids, you bitch?
Nothing will come of saying that now. At any rate, there are now 3 adults in the guest house. Me, you, and Ava, who's asleep with a high fever.
Oh,
At that time, the forceful sound of the door being opened came from the hallway, and they heard Ava's panicked voice.
uh-oh.
That voice kept calling out Hideyoshi's name. It seemed as though she had had a bad dream or something due to her fever and was calling for her husband.
Ava-san, what is it? Are you okay? Where is my husband? My husband isn't here! Even though he promised that he'd stay with me the whole time! Even though he promised that he'd cross my hand the whole time!
Kraus was struck dumb by this attitude of hers, which she had never shown in front of him before, but Natsuhi understood her feelings.
Aww,
L woman moment.
calm down. Hideyoshi-san is with Rudolph-san and Kyrie-san, and they're outside right now. Outside? Why? Why did he go outside after he promised that he'd stay with me the whole time?
Did we mention that Hideyoshi also got owned and died?
Yeah, by Ava.
Yeah.
by Beatrice Ava.
Ava
Beatrice. Yep. Oh, nice.
I forgot about this shit.
You mustn't go outside. The witch is outside. You mustn't go. You'll be killed.
Ava, calm yourself. Hideyoshi-san returned to the mansion with Rudolph and Kyrie-san.
Why did he have to go to the mansion? Why did he go outside even though it's safe here? Why did he go back to the mansion?
And they went to get enough food to last until tomorrow. Hideyoshi-san was worried about your health and said that was partly why he wanted to go.
When will they come back? When will they come back? Don't go outside. Don't go to the rose garden. Don't go to the mansion. The
I think
witch
it's
is
a
there.
little too
The
late for
golden
that,
witch is walking about. If she finds you, you'll be killed. You'll definitely be killed.
Well, she's not walking, bro. She's flying. You don't even know what she's talking about.
When will my husband come back? They left here 30 minutes ago. We are waiting for their return. 30 minutes ago? Isn't that strange? Why would it take so much time for them to go to the mansion to get food and come back? And why are you two just standing around here? We have to go get them! We have to hurry to where they are! Ah!
Ava probably had quite a nightmare, and because it had continued even after she woke up, she could no longer hide her panic. Natsuhi tried calming her down, but all it did was make Ava's emotions explode even more. Maybe they heard a disturbance. Battler and the kids, who had supposedly been on the second floor, were peeking their faces through the crack of the lobby door.
Alright, do we get to go back to Goonies over here?
Is this narrated? Okay.
Yeah.
Kraus, Natsuhi, Ava, and Battler, George, Jessica, Nanjo, everyone in the guest house had gathered by the entrance and understood the current situation. I agree with Mother. We should go check on Father and the rest.
Yeah, that's right. It's even possible that their load's too heavy and they're having trouble carrying it. They should welcome some extra hands.
This happened right after Rosa-san was attacked. This may have been a secondary disaster connected to that. We should act with caution here and... Don't be a fool! What do you mean, caution? Are you saying we should let my husband die, even though he might be begging for help? I'm going to look, and the cowards can stay here! Oh my god.
Looking agitated, Ava raised her gun. Judging by her face, it would be useless for anyone to try and stop her.
Yes, let's let the woman with the fever have a gun.
Base.
George, who realized that first, raised his head.
I'm going to violence John capitalism.
Go as well. You will too, right, Battler-kun? The more people, the better.
Sure! Aunt Ava, we're coming even if you tell us not to.
I'm coming too. I can't be the only one to hide in a safe place. I miss doing Jessica's voice.
Then everybody dies.
Jessica, you mustn't go outside. Stay here with me. Got it?
Is it because it's the only voice where you don't have to lower your pitch?
Yeah.
Tonnage.
It was like they were implying that those three had already been killed anyway, so going outside would be pointless. Natsuhi realized that Ava felt like her heart had been gouged out, but she spoke out strongly as Jessica's mother.
You're right. That should be fine. Let's have Nissan's family keep an eye on the guest house. This is a problem for my family and Battler Coons. And I wonder if Dr. Nanja would mind coming too, just in case.
Guys, he's the meat shield.
Guys, I think they're all going to die.
Quick, Dr. Nanja, take the bullet.
The kids know I've always loved you.
Gay.
In the whole of the mansion, Battler, Ava, George, and Nanjo found the corpses of Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi.
The 4th through 6th twilights? Then the corpses were pierced through the forehead, chest, and stomach with those demon stakes.
Yes. The demon stakes were buried into them, one in Rudolph's forehead, one in Hideyoshi's chest, and one in Kyrie's stomach. The disorder of the clothing on all three suggests that they were fighting or running away. Since the three corpses were not found right next to each other, it is hypothesized that after coming into contact with the culprit, they attempted some form of resistance.
And they had stakes in the forehead, chest, and stomach. Horrible, just like usual.
Oh my god!
Even though Renove knew it would be superfluous, he contemplated telling Battler the truth. Normally, the witch would have killed them in a much more horrible way. The corpses had been left in this manner only because Beato had suggested to the witch that she show restraint.
A little busy, so no songs for now. It's okay, soldier. We appreciate your work.
We appreciate. Salute you. We salute you.
The new witch, thinking it would fit well enough as long as she gouged them with stakes, would probably just have stuck a stake into a lump of meat that wasn't even shaped like a human.
Oh.
Rose's and Maria's corpses were particularly striking examples. If they'd been killed just as the Golden Witch had wished, just how gruesome would those corpses have been? Beato had changed into the still better kind of killing Battler had mentioned earlier. Wanting to have Beato's small bit of thoughtfulness appreciated,
Okay.
he thought of telling Battler about this. But judging by Battler's eyes, that might do more harm than good. To humans, the gap between being alive and being dead is very large. Saying that she'd given them better deaths might have made it possible for a demon to understand her feelings and pardon her. But there was no way a human would be so accepting. Understanding this, Renove remained silent despite knowing of Beato's modest efforts.
Just like usual, let's start by checking whether the corpses are dead. Renove, please declare it in red. Hey, can't you hear me? Please, declare it in red. Repeat it. Okay, hold on. Are you done?
My bad, sorry.
No, I mean, it's okay. It happens to everybody. Are you sick? Do you guys get sick?
Just allergies. Yeah.
You guys have allergies?
Yes, like humans are like cats to me. So like,
What's it? Really? Because this is like it's like another dimension. Can the air even like transfer like pollens and stuff?
Well,
or,
once you're here, air is kind of just air, So,
I guess I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Now,
you're
repeat
sort
it in
of
red.
a metaphysical space, so you're just breathing oxygen somewhere, not necessarily here.
Oh, okay. Now, in red, Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi are dead.
My apologies. Allow me to decline from repeating that.
Oh, so I waited for nothing. The hell? What are you planning all of a sudden?
By now, proclaiming that the victims were dead in red was almost a given in this battle. Refusing to do that was almost like losing by default. So when Renove refused as part of his first move, Battler was dumbfounded. My apologies, as of this moment I relinquish my position as Milady's representative. Accordingly, I cannot repeat that in red. The only one qualified to repeat that is
Oh, shit.
Milady.
His point is a valid one. Renove is only a representative for Beato's side. If he steps down from that position, and if you will not accept Beato as an opponent, a new representative must be named.
No new representative exists. Please, Battler Summer, please accept Milady as your game partner once more.
Sorry, but that's advice I can't listen to. I definitely won't accept that unpleasant, cruel bastard as my opponent. My refusal to accept her is why I can't step down from this game.
As to her being unpleasant, I apologize in Milady's stead. Allow me to pledge that Milady will not undertake such unpleasant actions again.
I wonder about that.
I love how during my part the sirens go.
Wee-woo, wee-woo,
They're coming for you, Bachelor! They're coming for you!
Battler, I planted several grams of methamphetamine in all of your jacket pockets.
Oh yeah.
Battler-kun, I also want to apologize as that child's teacher. I'll give that child a good talking to, so please offer your forgiveness just this once.
Hey, enough of that. You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy. And no matter how much you guys apologize, it won't reach my ears. If Beato can say that from her own lips, well, I might listen to her.
Understood. If that is your only condition for acknowledging your opponent again, let us have that child apologize. Renove, call for that child. Would that be all right, Battler-kun?
Sheesh. Do whatever you want. Still, don't expect me to forgive her. Go get that irritating witch.
You have my thanks, Battler Summer. I shall summon her here. Milady, Battler Summer is calling for you.
Sad. What's up, bitches?
Oh, she's pouting.
Yeah, dude. He's all like, nobody likes me because I kill
few
people.
heartbeats,
hates me.
gold butterflies gathered together in midair and created Beato's form. It was much more docile in appearance than the ones she'd made before.
Did you call Renove? I believe you heard. Is there something you have to say from your own lips?
It looked as though Beato shrunk slightly under Battler's cold gaze. Several times, Beato made an effort to get the words out of her mouth, but that didn't work so well. She was just as awkward as someone trying to light a match during a freezing winter with icy hand. Even as she did that, the game board was advancing. In the hall, they had just found the corpses of the new victims and had broken down crying.
God.
Snap back to reality. Oop, there goes
our
gravity.
parents.
There goes everyone
Yeah.
you know and
Oh
love.
god, he's fucking crying again.
Oh,
Dad, Kirie-san!
oh no.
I'd like- I'd like to imagine, just because we've heard these characters cry so many times, as the series gets on, the like emotional music becomes like less and less emotional and more ironic. So at this point, it's like, well, you had a bad day. Please take my tongue.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's gonna be, dude, it's, by the time we get to episode 8, it's gonna be like Kevin McLeod.
Anyway, shit. They probably died instantly. Holy fuck. I'm sure that even if we had arrived immediately after they fell, it would have been too late. No, that's wrong! They were definitely alive! It's just was stabbed with something like this! My husband must have died in extreme pain! If we had come faster, surely they would have been saved. They would definitely have been saved. Oh. Great.
Must be tough for you too, Pat Raccoon. Stay strong.
No.
I'm okay. It's okay, Aniki. Let me cry just a little bit longer. I've got it the best. I should be the least sad. So if you let me cry just a little longer, I'll be fine.
Isn't true. can understand how much it hurts your heart to have lost both parents. I still love Mother. It's much better than what you're going through, Patrick.
Oh.
No, that's wrong! It's gotta be toughest for you, George Aniki. I understand, Aniki. In this group, you're the saddest and the one who has it the toughest. I understand that, so I can't keep sobbing like this. Ah!
What do you say it's toughest for me, huh?
To me, Dad and Kirie-san were people I'd eventually split up with when I grew up and became independent. Since their parents, it was fated that they'd die before their kids. It just happened a little early, that's all. But it's different for you, Aniki. You didn't just lose your parents, who would have parted ways with you eventually. You also lost Shen and Chan, someone you should have spent your whole life with. You can't value human lives differently. Whether it's a baby or an old person, they should all be respected the same. But still, the more life that person has ahead of them, the longer the future you're building together is, the sadder the fact of their death is. Aniki, you were engaged to Shen and Chan, right? You promised that you'd build a life and home together in the future, right? Compared to how huge that future was, compared to how huge that happiness was, stuff like my pain doesn't even come close. So you should be allowed to cry much, much more, Aniki. And yet, just because you act like a big brother to us cousins, you force yourself to act like you're so calm.
Stop it, Patrick. George was trying to make a calm smile. But already, he couldn't stop a single hot tear leaving a streak down his face. There's no way I wouldn't be sad, right? Together with Shannon, I painted a picture of many futures in my mind. We talked of dreams that I couldn't at all come true even if we lived 100 years. Of those dreams, even the very first one, having her move into my family register couldn't be granted. So there's no way I wouldn't be sad, right?
Compared to that, like I said, I have no right to cry anymore. And even you're struggling to hold it in, I have no right to shed any more tears.
We're the same. We both feel the same sadness for losing those close to us. So there's no rule that says you can't shed any more tears than me, Battler could. And for me too, there's no rule that says I have to hold back my tears any longer, is there?
Aniki!
Shed, the one who shared my dreams for the future, is dead. Father's dead too. It's just so sad.
Oh my god, bros.
The bros crying.
Just two guys.
Just two guys.
Sharing about their feelings
Yeah.
and crying.
Yeah.
Crying. Because everyone fucking died.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all of their loved ones are dying.
Yeah. Jessica's like,
Is
I'm
that-
fine.
Both just start throwing punches at
She's
Jessica.
like, wow,
Shut up!
pussies.
Don't talk!
Little baby gonna cry.
As Battler and George hugged each other tightly, and cried a waterfall of tears over each other's shoulders, the people who had been so precious to them. Like little bitches.
Like little bitches.
Little tiny bitches. Do you understand why I said that George Aniki has it the toughest?
I was listening, so I understand. Who
That's
the,
a
who the
lecture.
fuck is talking in the background?
I'm just amused with what's happening.
Renove spectator commentary. Ooh, this shit is getting good.
Excuse me for enjoying the thing.
I was listening, so I understand. Your sadness is proportional to the length of time you would have been able to spend with that person afterwards.
It is literally emotional autism versus analytical autism. Of course. We can't just calculate it like that, though. We aren't humans, we humans aren't like you witches. From the time we receive life to the moment we die, We live within that limited period as strongly as we can manage. I can't forgive anyone who makes light of that. And I definitely can't forgive anyone who sneers at people and toys with them. A person like you, whose very concept of death is all screwed up, probably can't understand that. I'm not just mad because of the length of time they would have lived afterwards. It's sneering at the lives of people living with all they've got. That's what I can't forgive the most. George Aniki lived his life by recklessly doing his best. He must have approached this day with a grim resolve to marry Shannon Chan no matter the challenges. That's completely different from me, since I was happy to just be able to meet my cousins after a long while.
But still...
Beato, for now, stay silent and listen.
Indeed.
A battler is speaking. Listen. In a way, I understand your point. You say you need to continue murdering according to the epitaph for your own resurrection. So, considering your circumstances, I can just barely bring myself to understand your murders. Because to you, it's a necessary course of action. But that means all unnecessary actions you take beyond that are due to your meaningless and brutal tastes. In other words, if killing the 6 people for the first Twilight was a necessary action for you, then all that show of crushing their faces and splitting their stomachs and stuffing them full of sweets was completely unnecessary. And caused by nothing more than your brutal hobby. That's an aspect of you that I definitely can't forgive.
Indeed.
When you saw Aunt Rosa getting repeatedly killed in that horrible way, you apparently said something like, if they're gonna be brought back to life in the end anyway, it doesn't matter how they're killed. I heard from Virgilia.
Well, as to that... Well,
That idea that you can kill them as many times as you want, as long as you can bring them back to life in the end. Isn't that a completely unnecessary action, with no purpose other than to toy around with someone's life? If you're gonna kill, do it instantly! Don't toy with them! If you won't kill them, then don't bully them! You're taking advantage of the fact that you can do as you will with people's lives, and you've forgotten the sanctity of life. So I can't accept or acknowledge you. I definitely can't accept as my opponent a person who doesn't know the value of a life, or the sadness felt when lives are lost.
That is why the endless magic is known as a black art. The endless witch has no concept of limitations. She has no concept of the limitations and losses caused by breaking and killing. For that reason, endless witches sometimes start playing by jumping over the gap between life and death, like it's a game. That is a very, very frightening thing. So, as an endless witch, and by my own choosing, I never reached your level.
It was something Virgilia had been trying to tell Beato for a long time, but Beato had been too young to obediently listen to those words. She'd been too wild. She'd been possessed by that detestable pleasure.
I have been told not to break faces, but that's why I wanted to break them.
Okay.
And then I gained the endless magic. When I knew that I could fix them back to normal no matter how badly I broke them, I was surprised at how fun it could be to break a face.
That is what's known as the forbidden honey. People are not captivated by what's inside. They are captivated by the sealed log. It is truly regrettable.
I want to ask you, Virgilia, why does this thing called the endless magic exist? For what purpose does it exist in this world?
It is not limited to the endless magic. All magic exists to bring happiness to the human world. After everything that has happened, it may be difficult for you to believe, Battler-kun, but in order to bring blessings to the human world, we witches are supposed to become bridges between humans and non-humans, and that is why we train so hard.
I was a good kid. What the fuck happened?
Type shit.
What?
And then then how the fuck did they all become all fucked up and evil and shit?
They're just being girlies.
How does reviving the dead and torturing them to death over and over again help the human world?
When a vase that was an important memento is broken, if by fixing it, everyone will regain their smiles, I would repair it with magic as many times as necessary. However, I would not be fixing it in order to break it again. I would be reviving it to give humans happiness.
In that case, Beato, you fail as an endless witch.
Indeed.
There's this thing I've been vaguely thinking about. Why do I keep playing this strange game against you? Maybe this game isn't about making me surrender. Maybe it's a test for you to be accepted as an endless witch, in the truest sense.
I don't know about that. The reason I proposed this game to you was, simply as a way to kill time. There were no ulterior motives at work.
Okay, bro.
Just now, I heard the definition of a witch from Virgilia. By that definition, you, Beato, are not even a witch. You're an apprentice who's still in training, and who misunderstands her own power. This was supposed to be a fight between a witch and a human. If you aren't a witch, then you aren't qualified to be my opponent. You understand?
You say I am still only an apprentice? Then when will I be accepted as your opponent once again? When can we resume this game?
Who knows? At the very least, it isn't now. When you fully understand what I've said and become a real witch, I'll probably accept you as my opponent in this game once more.
I can't understand if you say it so abstractly like that. Clearly tell me what I should do to earn your forgiveness.
No, I've said enough. You think about the rest. That's all I want to say. If you can't figure it out, try talking with Virgilia and Renove. A brat like you should start off by listening to what the adults say.
Damn! Also, woo-woo! Woo-woo!
There's been a murder!
Damn, dang.
I'm here to report a sick bird.
Virgilia, suspend the game for now. Now that Renove has stepped down as a representative, all we can do is wait for Beato to gain the qualifications of a proper opponent.
Understood. Until Beato has been acknowledged as having earned those qualifications, the game will proceed without an opponent. Is that all right with you too, Beato?
They're coming back for me! They're coming back! What is going on?
She gets arrested.
Jesus Christ. I hope that's it.
I called the feds, Beatrice.
The
Murder in the face!
I have no objections. I want time and a place where I can think at a leisurely pace. May I leave my seat for that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well then, see you later.
Wait, don't make that dejected face.
Sorry about that. Letting everything inside my heart show up on my face is part of my personality. I cannot deceive.
Maybe there's still some hope for you. Let me promise you one thing. In this game with you, I might win, and I might lose. If you don't come back, it might be my victory by default.
At that point, Battler stopped talking for a second. Then he spoke forcefully.
However, I definitely won't be the one to step down. I definitely won't give you a victory by default. I'll keep on waiting here for you to sit there again as my worthy opponent.
Battler-sama.
Thank you, Battler. I will definitely come back and be accepted by you.
After showing a hopeful smile for a very short while, Beato vanished. After seeing her expression as she left, Battler was absolutely convinced that her face could tell no lies.
Okay.
What the freak's gonna freaking happen, guys?
You know, I'm like, how the hell did he turn that around so quickly? Like, Jesus Christ.
No, dude, he's like he's got like control of the game right now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not. He's like, fuck you, I'm not playing. You're a bitch.
You're a bitch, Beatrice. Yeah.
The 7 survivors returned to the guest house once again. By now, it was clear that those who had went outside would not return alive.
Good.
Rudolph's group had gone out with 2 guns and a master key, but those had been lost. It was already clear that those had been stolen by the culprit. Because the shutters were closed on the windows, they couldn't be opened even if the culprit had a master key. The front and back doors that had led to the outside were all sealed by chains, and they were further blocked with sofas and tables. Even if the culprit decided to break in through violent means, it wouldn't be easy for them.
At this point, the typhoon may actually be fortunate. If it were clear outside, it might have been possible for them to set fire to the guest house.
If there wasn't a typhoon in the first place, the boat would have arrived before noon. That's not much of a silver lining. Neva-san, how do you feel? Please try to take it easy. Thank you. I still feel like I have a fever, but this is no time to complain about that. For the children's sake as well, this is no time to be bedridden.
After crying so much in front of Hideyoshi's corpse, Eva had felt a strong self-awareness of her position as a mother, and her expression conveyed a strong will. In actual fact, her fever still hadn't gone down, and she was aware of that. If she didn't keep a strong hold on herself, she felt as though the fever would make her mind hazy again. Excuse me.
Damn!
No, yeah. By this point, the first floor formed the final line of defense set up by Kraus, Natsuhi, and Eva. The children and the guest Nonjo had been strongly warned not to go downstairs without taking great care. If the culprit used a ladder or something, it probably wouldn't be impossible for them to attack from the second floor. But it wouldn't be easy for them to break those sturdy shutters from such an insecure position. The second floor was relatively safe compared to the first. Battler and George had also wanted to remain on the first floor, so that they could fight if the worst happened, but Eva had put a stop to that. In her mind, George was now the only member of her family. It seemed that she didn't even want to expose him to the danger of coming downstairs to the first floor. Kraus and Natsuhi could understand that feeling. Also, a great deal of time had passed since the siege began. In the second floor of the cousins' room, Battler, George, and Jessica sat dazed, and didn't even listen to the TV that had been left on. For a while, Nunjo had been with them and had tried to lend them words of encouragement. But when he realized that he might actually be having the opposite effect, he hid himself in his own room on the same floor.
No!
George kept looking dazedly at the photographs inserted in his notebook.
No!
It was from the time he'd taken a vacation to Okinawa with Shannon. Shannon's happy smile was contained in those photos, and I don't believe that they didn't fuck during that vacation.
I hope so, man. For their sake, they're not gonna get another chance.
Yeah, no, yeah. George could remember the temperature and the humidity, the warmth and strength of the wind, and even what he had been talking about with her at the time when those photos had been taken. as clearly as though it had been yesterday. So to George, it weren't simply photos, but a door to bring back warm memories. In this room, even though the sound of the typhoon and the TV should have entered George's hearing, it was the scenery of Okinawa he had seen with her, and her laughing voice that reached his eyes and ears.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
George had strived to be reborn after meeting Shannon. He had sworn to separate himself from the timid person he had once been, easily caught up in the atmosphere, unable to refuse a request, and easily used by those around him. He had resolved himself to become a strong man who could make her life more joyous. Therefore, if he hadn't met Shannon, the man called the Shinomiya George would probably have lived a very different life. And the George of that different life surely wouldn't have been as excellent a man as he is now. The person I am now exists for Shannon's sake. Now that Shannon is gone, well,
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to act.
Guys, how do we be bad at the visual novel gameplay? It's just pressing A.
Now that Shannon is gone, why do I exist? Completely meaningless, isn't it? I have to switch back.
Yes, you do.
I hate this.
Hi, Adam.
I hate this. I hate when it does that. He felt a deep sadness, as though he himself had become empty. That feeling must have been tormenting him this whole time. However, until Battler mentioned it, he hadn't been aware of the feeling himself. He'd finally managed to remember that it should have been all right for him to cry much, much more. So he cried. Just like Battler had, he cried himself dry. But now his eyes were bright red and swollen, and he couldn't cry anymore. So George did his best to change his way of thinking. He was not meaningless now, and he should be grateful to Shannon for giving him such a character. The dead don't come back to life. He would have to get over being separated from his most beloved person.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I know it's coming.
If he were to chase after Shannon and kill himself, she would surely be deeply dejected. It worked the other way around too. If he had died and Shannon chased after him, throwing away her own life, he wouldn't have been able to forgive himself. So, he chose to surpass his sadness and anger and decided to thank her instead. After meeting Shannon, she made his days rich and full and taught him the meaning of working hard for other people's sakes. As a result, she had shaped him into the kind of person he had wanted to be. He wanted to thank her for that. He tried to quell his sadness in this way, but each time he did, he remembered Shannon's smile. He understood it logically. He knew that grieving any more than this would only make her grieve in heaven. But that didn't bring a stop to his sadness.
No, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
Emotional trees.
Wow, emotional sunset.
This song is really good.
It is.
.png. Now Shannon slowly fades away. Oh no.
She's like, goodbye, I'm dead.
Shannon.
Shannon.
Why is it that when people die, It's so sad like this.
Because you're not Irish.
You're not drunk.
Yeah. Battler muttered. It was as though he was speaking on behalf of all humans. His question probably hadn't been directed at anyone, but Jessica answered.
It's always sad when you have to say goodbye. But when the person's old or there's some time, when you know beforehand that it's coming sooner or later, that sadness gets spread out over a long period of time. When misfortune comes suddenly, it's sad because you don't even get that time.
I see. So if they got sick or something and end up bedridden in a hospital, you might be able to ready yourself for it bit by bit. But when it happens suddenly someday, you don't get that luxury.
The sadness that's usually spread out over several years closes in on you all at once. That's pretty tough. Sometimes it makes you feel a sadness so deep, it can leave scars for life.
Scars for life, huh?
Like grandfather's occult hobby. People say that's what caused it. That Beatrice, his mistress, died a long time ago, and he was so sad that he couldn't pull himself together. Some people whisper that this is why he started sacrificing the rest of his life to occult research, in order to revive the dead.
There he is on his ATV in heaven.
If that's true, Grandfather succeeded in that miracle in his last moments. The culprit is the revived Beatrice, and Grandfather was reunited with her at the moment he was killed. Pretty ironic that he revived her and then got killed by her.
Even so, Grandfather probably managed to meet her. He gambled like half of his life, and even though it was only for a short time, he was reunited with the woman who wished to see again. To see once again. Fuck.
Then he actually got totally roasted, though. Feels like that result doesn't quite add up to the cost of researching for half his life. Oh, WPS5 purchase? What are you gonna play on it?
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna play the PS5 store and not buy anything. It's my favorite
PS5.
Yeah,
game.
because there's no games.
Baldur's
That's
Gate?
not
Oh,
true.
fire. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
Sorry, George.
That's not true. Even if it was only for an instant, Grandfather must have been happy to be reunited with the woman he loved. Also, he could have been into that shit. And that would be true, even if his crime of going against the divine providence was punished by God, and his body was burnt and sent down to hell. Even if that reunion only lasted a very short time, right?
George Nissan.
I wouldn't care if I met with the wrath of God and had my body burned, even if it was just for a short amount of time. If I could revive Shannon again, I would sacrifice the rest of my life to the same research as Grandfather. I want to talk with Shannon again, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Even 1 minute would be fine. In exchange, I wouldn't mind sacrificing the rest of my life.
Aniki.
When Battler and Jessica realized that their pointless discussion was causing George pain, they could do nothing more than shut their mouths. George directed his thoughts to Kinzo's life. He sacrificed half his life to research that no one understood. And on the last day of his life, he revived the person he loved most, and probably succeeded in his reunion in his final moments. George didn't know how much time they'd had together. He didn't know if they'd been given an hour or just 5 minutes. However, That moment must have been enough to reward him for all those months of research. Even though he spent dozens of years to achieve it, that small amount of time was probably more than worth it to him.
Until today, I never believed in the occult or magic or anything. Somewhere in my heart, I even made fun of grandfather's research, thinking of it as nothing more than a pastime.
Is this George?
I think that might be
Is
George.
it?
I think it might be George.
I don't know. I have no idea, because Battler also makes fun of that shit.
Well,
Alright, we'll say it's George. Fuck it.
Okay. However, I won't make fun of it anymore. To the contrary, I'll believe strongly that it's real. If the power of belief can create miracles, I'll probably throw away all of my studies up until today, spending the rest of my time from today onwards studying magic. Give me the power of magic, and give me a miracle that'll let me see Shannon again. I'm sorry, you two. What am I talking about? He could revive the dead with magic. People would probably be researching it everywhere around the world. Things like that don't exist in reality. No one researches it. It's because they know the dead can't be revived with magic. Sorry for saying something so weird. It's my fault for making that atmosphere here. But it's my fault that the atmosphere here has gotten so strange. Sorry for making you all tiptoe around me, even though it's tough for us all. Even if I did do it to divert myself from my sadness, maybe I did say something strange. If I keep talking about stuff that's so weird, I'm sure it won't do anything good for their sadness. But that doesn't mean I can bear this silence.
Dude, George is a really cool character.
He is.
He's so considerate, bro.
Hold on, I have to pee.
Okay, pee break. So chat, I'm in the middle of this Pokemon TCG Pocket match right now. I don't know if y'all have tried that game, but if it's pretty good if you're trying to like get into like Pokemon cards, like actually playing, and you've never really done it before. Like I know how to play, but I don't like collecting card games. There's too much effort, too much money.
The only time I had fun playing a card game, my cousins in Texas last time I went to visit taught me how to play Commander Magic the Gathering. And that was
Oh
actually
yeah,
really
dude,
fun.
Commander's the only way to play that's actually fun.
It was really fun. I played like it was a green deck, so it was just blooping all sorts of dudes. It was good.
Yeah, bro. Because the thing I like about Commander is the fact that like it's one of the only like card game formats I can think of that can be played like with more than 2 people.
Yeah, it was cool. I played with a bunch of hidden friends and stuff, and we made barbecue chicken. It was good.
Oh hell yeah!
That was a good time in Texas. That's when I met Bree for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna see me, now that Bree lives here, what's the plan? Should we come to New Mexico because you hate California that much?
No, I think I'll eventually go there. I think that because I think I can fly out to a smaller airport, and I think the flight would probably be cheaper.
Probably yeah.
Well, hold on. DM me what the airport would be, just so we're not because we're on stream.
Yeah, true. No doxing.
Yeah, and I'll look it up and I'll see. Cause watch, I bet you it's a super cheap ass flight.
Because that's where you'd be coming in from. If you wanted to be as close to us as possible. Because like we were just saying, no doxing chat, but Shane is our state border neighbor. Because me and Artsy live in California. Your dad was into Magic when it came out. That's pretty cool. I always forget you have a nerd dad.
$150 on Southwest looks like.
Oh, okay.
See, that wouldn't be too bad.
No, you're right.
I'd probably invite you guys over here if my mom ever go, because sometimes they go to California to visit cousins. And so just so you guys have a place to schlep.
Uh-huh.
If you guys ever did, but I don't know. There's not much to do out here.
Oh, dude, there's even less to do where we are because you got to remember we're in backwater California, so it's
I
mostly
gotcha.
mostly empty farmland and small cities.
I guess here we definitely could go to like Meow Wolf. That'd be cool.
What's that?
Oh, you ever see like on Instagram any of those places? That Omega Mart in Vegas with all the weird shit.
No, but I can imagine what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole art installation about alternate dimensions and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, that does sound cool.
Yeah, that's something we could do. I wanna force friends to go with me to one of my favorite restaurants. It's a Salvadorian place called La Pupuseria.
Mm.
The Sal Pupusas. That's really good.
Ooh.
If you've never had Salvadorian food,
No, I haven't.
It's
I've always wanted to try. I'm trying to remember. No, it's escaping me because I'm there's another Hispanic country that makes their tamales with like a banana leaf instead of like the masa, you know.
Oh yeah, I think.
But I'm trying to think of what country that is.
I know what is that. Puerto Rico.
It might be
guessing.
actually, yeah.
If I had to guess, it's Puerto Rico.
I'm back.
Probably. Hello.
Sorry. The pee hit
We're
out of nowhere.
We're talking about what country has the best hookers.
Oh, okay. What did you decide?
It's between the Philippines and Puerto Rico.
All right, great.
We also talked about Pokemon cards and when we're gonna meet up IRL with this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'll probably go visit you guys. I don't hate California. I hate Los Angeles, which is where my
Yeah.
cousins
No,
used to live.
that's fair. I also hate
Yeah,
Los
I've got
Angeles.
family who lives in LA as well. It's so funny because
cesspool?
even though it's like the quote unquote like cultural epicenter of the state, it's just like the worst place to be ever.
I went to even just like Venice Beach. I went to Venice Beach and saw the like right-wing conspiracy homeless guy getting beaten up by random people, and turn around, someone's trying to shove a CD in my mom's face, and then it's like, why did we even go here? This
Damn.
isn't fun. Like, why?
Yeah, dude, it's like New York if people didn't mind their own business.
Yeah, no,
No.
it's New York if people had like the opposite. Like, I liked New York when I went there because it was like, yeah, people were a little brisk and rude, but they got out of each other's way.
Yeah, right. Like
But-
everybody's just in a hurry, you know, so they're a little bit rude. Whereas, like, you know, LA is like it's busy, everyone's in a hurry, and everybody is definitely gonna let you fucking know that they're not happy with you.
LA was the first place that I was like just fat shamed by a random person on the street. I was
Damn, what the fuck?
Damn, Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Shit ass. Chat, move to the Midwest. That's the dream.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's all go to Ohio.
Goofy Ohio.
Go to Cincinnati and get stabbed
Woohoo!
by like a real American.
Like a real American. Real. Okay.
God bless.
God bless.
Ray, you good?
Yeah, go.
Are you done peeing? Are you still
yes.
peeing?
No, the PS stopped. It is
There's-
down my.
is
It
there-
is.
there's a
it is-
trail- there's
it
a
is-
trail
yeah,
now?
Yeah, there's a trail. I peed
there's a
all the
trail?
way here.
Nice. Good for you.
Thank you.
I'll go downstairs.
Whoa!
I had a stroke. I'll go downstairs and get another cup of coffee. Fuck. Hold on. I gotta have a drink of water. Hold on.
Cup of coffee.
Guys, I'm going through some shit. I'm going through some shit right now.
I'm going through it. I'm in the
Well,
thick of
Jimmy,
it.
you can stay
Everybody
there in
knows.
Canada where, you break your leg and it takes 6 months to get a cast.
Dude, I was gonna not go for the
Oh!
Canadian healthcare joke, and because I was like, that's low hanging fruit, and then you were just right there,
Yeah, you just
ready to
fucking
pick up
got
that
it.
apple.
You know what I be about.
Oh yeah, nah, dude, it's like, listen, you know, you got to understand that at the end of the day, as people born in the United States, part of our culture is ripping on other countries,
Yeah.
Real.
even though some of them are better. We have to do it still. I don't know, it's a compulsion.
By some of them, I mean like maybe Malta. They're
I'd be
pretty
down to move to
cool.
like Germany or like Scotland. I think there's some pretty cool European countries out there.
I don't want to go to Germany because they make you like log your plastic bottles and shit.
Mm.
I don't know. No, I was like, they don't trust you to recycle yourself.
I want to move to
I can't deal
Switzerland.
with that.
I
They
got
got,
you.
they
wouldn't
got good
mind
healthcare.
Switzerland.
They got good healthcare there. And
Well,
housing.
that's because they also have compulsory military service.
Yay!
What do you need good
Forget
healthcare
that.
for? Just don't get hurt.
Okay. We're getting
Puppy.
sidetracked. Silly.
I apologize. We'll go downstairs and get another cup of coffee. Mom's very particular about how she likes hers. Does anyone else want a refill? Badler-kun and Jessica-chan slightly shook their heads.
Okay. It's George
Oh.
now.
Oh shit,
Huge
George
George
POV
POV.
now.
I love when we get George POV. It happens like once an episode.
Without pressing them further, I took my mugs and left the room. The shutters were all closed in the hallway, so the corridor was very dim. I tried visiting Dr. Nanjo's room and asking if he wanted more coffee, but he said he didn't need any either. It seems my mother's orthodox method of making coffee Mother's orthodox method of making coffee isn't universally accepted. Excuse me. Jesus. I don't know what's wrong. I'm falling apart over here. I'm dying. I can speak better in the British voice
Yeah.
at this point than
You trained your brain to speak in the British voice.
You're an Anglophile, bro.
Oh.
One time I was... oh, fuck. Hold on.
Lock in! Lock in! It's his POV!
You're the main character now, bro. It's
Yeah,
your
you gotta
moment.
lock in.
Oh, my back hurts. Okay. One time I made some for Shannon, but she told me while it was delicious, it was a little strong. Shannon, it's no good. Even though I left the room to change my mood, the image of Shannon's face filling my head hasn't faded in the slightest. Jesus Christ, come on. I keep seeing those fun days with her more and more vividly. And it's saddening that I never even got a chance to see her dead face. According to our parents, she was apparently killed with something like a gun or a spear. I'm sure they were just trying to console me, but they had said her dead face had been very beautiful and peaceful. I wonder if she had the engagement ring I gave her last night on her finger. If she had accepted my engagement, she should have had it on the ring finger of her left hand. Last night, we were both on the edge of losing it. Not calm at all. Shannon accepted my engagement pretty courageously, but she might have regretted that as a rash action when she cooled her head. She might have taken the ring off. I wonder if she has the ring on now. I want to be sure of at least that much. I want to know how she felt at the very end. But even if I do confirm that, it doesn't mean she'll come back. Wonder what'll happen to her body after the autopsy. It'll probably be immediately cremated. Then I'll never be able to see her face, even her dead face, for all eternity. The shock of losing Shannon made me go a little crazy. I don't want her body to be burned. If she's burned and turned to ash, never again will it be possible for her to revive. They say cremation is frowned upon in Western tradition because on the day of resurrection, there would be nobody to revive. Because of that, it seems that great criminals in Western history were often cremated after execution as a punishment, and their ashes were sometimes scattered in rivers and such, and now they just do it because they're poor. In other words, to Western people, death is nothing more than a sleep until the resurrection. It is essential that the corpse is left after death. In other words, because Western people knew of a miracle that could revive the dead. Oh god, he's going loony. But because that miracle doesn't exist in Japan, we burn them. Now I understand. I understand why grandfather idolized the Western occult. That was his only reason from the very beginning. Just to revive the person dear to him. Grandfather spent the rest of his remaining life researching the Western occult. The situation surrounding us now is abnormal. Grandfather did revive his beloved Beatrice, and that Beatrice has carried out a terrible serial murder. With linked closed rooms that force us to conclude that magic was used. Golden Witch Beatrice, the incarnation of the miracle of the Western occult. And also, the culprit who killed Shannon. Hold on, I'm getting... I gotta
Yeah.
let out the... I gotta...
Yeah. No,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
crying. He's crying.
No,
George just
I
has a
know,
fucking
just-
tissue in his pocket. It's like, gotta shove that back in there.
George may be crying, I'm just fucking...
I was like, I'm not a pussy, I don't cry.
Not at this.
Nah, I get it.
So you say
This has
now.
been very interesting.
I really don't like cry at like movies or shows or stuff very often. Like it's got to be like the best story ever.
Notebook made me cry. I Am Legend when he kills the dog while singing Bob Marley makes me cry.
Talk about
Oh
it.
yeah.
Don't talk about that. I was inconsolable. I'm not even gonna go into me crying. I cry every day.
About the thing.
No.
Yeah, you cry enough. That's why I keep it in. You cry enough for both of us.
Yeah, I steal your tears.
And also the culprit who killed Shannon. She's an entity I should hate, and yet for some reason I want to cling to her. I wonder if Shannon could be revived with the magic of miracles, which grandfather bet his life on. According to the legend of the Oshiromiya family, grandfather met with her long ago and was given a vast quantity of gold. Then if I also met with her instead of gold, would she give me Shannon's life? As collateral, I don't care what sort of devil's contract she imposed. I wouldn't mind sacrificing all of my remaining life. George probably couldn't believe or realize that his voiceless wish was heard by the witch herself, who stood right behind him. Oh no. Beatrice had been listening to that entire discussion between the children just now in the cousin's room. Butler had told her that she didn't know the value of a human's life, and wanting to understand that in her own way, she had stealthily visited, listening in on their discussions. Wow, that's actually cool that she's like now like studying, being like, did I fucked up? Hold on, let me.
That is your wish, you say. If I could grant that, would I be accepted as a witch?
Beato looked at the palms of both of her hands. She had handed over most of her once surging magical power when the new witch succeeded the name of the Endless Witch. Of course, her current power still made her worthy of being called a witch, but it could not begin to compare with her previous strength.
Even without the endless magic, I am a great witch whose name has been thundered for 1,000 years. Reviving the dead will be no trouble at all.
Inside her head, she thought about several magic steps she could take to revive the dead. Even magic that should have been easy in the past would be difficult with her current power. She thought of something and then clicked her tongue, then did so again over and over. In the end, she finally thought of a single spell, but it was a spell that she couldn't use by herself. It was a spell that witches with weak power used once that relied on the aid of others. In the past, Beato had looked down upon that type of magic. Therefore, she frantically tried to search for any conceivable alternative. But in the end, she couldn't think of one and slumped over into self-derision. Then, careful not to surprise him, she softly called out. Softly to George's heart.
Ushiromiya George, can you hear my voice?
Oh shit! What? I did not expect it to go this direction. One shot.
She whispers the magic words pee pee poo poo.
Okay, sorry, I had to
Ning ning.
respond to somebody. Okay, I can hear you. Who are you? Are you really the witch Beatrice? Or are you an illusion created by my sorrow? If it's the former, please hear my wish, and if it's the latter, just leave me alone. Their conversation in the mental world was a lot like having one in a dream. When you dream, haven't you ever had the experience of casually accepting something that would have been absurd in the real world? The conversation in this world was like that. So even though a witch appeared and started talking to George, he was not surprised.
Indeed, I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Normally, you and I would not be able to talk together in this manner. However, you are strongly conscious of me and wish to have a discussion. So both of our channels are able to match like this.
I don't care if the person who killed Shannon was you or someone else using your name. As long as you exist as a real witch. I'll pay whatever cost you ask for. If you desire my life, take it. Right now, please. I want you to bring Shannon back to life. If that's impossible, I'd be satisfied if you just let me talk to her for a short while. Please.
I ask for nothing in return. I shall grant that wish.
Really? Really? You'll revive Shannon?
Indeed. However, my current magical power is not sufficient to use the magic of resurrection. Therefore, I must rely on your help.
If there's anything I can do, I'll do it. Even if that means taking my heart out right here and now, I will not hesitate.
I told you, I don't need anything like that. I will chant the magic. Then, a gap will open in the door to the land of the dead. But as I am now, I do not have the power to bring Shannon's soul up through that gap. However, you have strong feelings for Shannon, and those feelings will surely become magic that can bring her soul out without fail. What do you say? Will you help me?
I will. If Shannon's life will be restored, there's nothing I'm afraid to lose.
Let's go, George.
George's fists shook in silence. Then, he slowly came to his senses. He had been absent-mindedly standing near the window in the hall that whole time, his mug still in hand. And the witch from his dream was still there. It isn't a dream?
Be quiet. I am very fragile now. If any more humans appear, I will not be able to preserve this form. I shall grant your wish, so stay silent for now. Understand?
George covered his mouth with both hands, nodding enthusiastically several times. In that instant, he almost dropped the mug he was holding. George frantically juggled it around and caught it. He was afraid that if it fell to the floor and made a loud sound, the witch's form might disappear like a bubble popping. He softly set the mug on the floor and stared at the witch in front of him again. Her form didn't disappear. It wasn't a dream.
Come, let us go to the parlor while Shannon sleeps. With the power of your feelings, we will bring back her soul.
You say go, but how? My mother and the rest are downstairs. There's no way they'd let you go outside. And didn't you just say that you wouldn't be able to preserve your form if another human appeared?
Come to think of it, that is true. So, Kraus and the rest are downstairs. In that case, we definitely cannot go down. Well then, we just need to go to the mansion without going down to the first floor, right? It's simple.
Beato laughed as though she had thought of a pleasant prank. And with her golden pipe, she lightly tapped a window with its shutter closed. When she did, 3 gold butterflies appeared from the pipe and opened the lock on the window as though melting it.
Oh, look at this tree! Whoa! Whoa!
Then the window opened without a sound. The shutter beyond it was exactly the same. The clasp unset itself also without making a sound, and it quietly opened.
Oh!
The window opened, exposing the wind and the rain outside the mansion. Perhaps because of the direction, or something related to the construction of the building, the wind did not blow inside. Could have just said that window was down. Anyway, because of that, for a while George felt as though the entrance that opened to the outside was a dream or an illusion, and he couldn't accept it as real.
Come, let us go. Come with me.
Beato gently floated upwards. It was a natural action, like that of a diver enjoying an underwater stroll. It made it easy to believe that if you just acted like she did, you too might be able to float in the sky, just as though you were swimming through the water. No. George did believe that, so without thinking, just as she had done before, he also, gently, as though swimming in the water, lifted his feet.
Oh, not bad. So, you learned how to dance in the sky faster than I could explain it.
George was shocked to find himself floating in midair, like he was swimming. Of course, Beato was also shocked that George, who shouldn't have been able to use magic, had figured out how to do that just by instinct. To be able to fly in the air, to swim in the air.
You mustn't be bound by reason. Accept it as a natural thing. You mustn't fall back to your human doctrines, such as those of Newton and Einstein. Especially when flying high in the sky. Inexperienced witches sometimes plummet to the earth.
I accept things for what they appear to be. I accept things for what they appear to be. George repeated those words over and over. He must not deny magic, no matter what. Denying that would be like throwing away what might be his first and last chance to revive Shannon. However, compared to Beato, who was elegantly drifting like smoke, George's movements clearly resembled someone underwater. Therefore, if he didn't act like he was kicking his feet in water every once in a while, he'd be caught by the force of gravity bit by bit.
I must say you're doing better than when I first danced to the sky. Here we go. Come with me.
When Beato beckoned to George, she gently flew into the stormy sky. It was just like a scene from a fairy tale. The scene unfolding before George's eyes felt entirely like an extension of his dream. Being able to fly is incredible. So is the wind and the rain.
What's this? Are the wind and rain tormenting you? I could teach you magic to block against that, but it may be too early for you, and it may be a misuse of time right now.
Yes, the magic I need isn't that. George wore a strong-willed gaze, refusing to let the wind and rain get to him.
The mansion is coming into sight. Hold out just a little longer. If you fall now, you'll hit the bushes in the rose garden.
The undulating rose garden was spread beneath the witch and George's gazes. This illusion-like scene no longer surprised George, only gradually approaching the mansion was reflected in his eyes. Shannon, wait for me. I'll definitely revive you.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah. Now we're in
Forget
there.
about
Are they gonna-
me, bitch.
I hope there's gonna be another kaiju witch fight.
Another battle. Battle! At that time, the cruel new witch could be seen staring at the guest house from a different location.
Now, all that's left is the 7th and 8th twilights. Just 2 more, and my obligation to that old hag predecessor is finished. I'll kill Crufts and Natsuhi. Let them die together like the good couple they are.
Oh my god, they're back.
Okay, which one's
I
the
think
green one again?
410 is the green one.
Okay.
Where's the target, Doc?
In the lobby on the 1st floor of the guest house, 2 targets in Ushinomiya Ava identified. Measuring anti-magic power levels. That'll link to 410.
Oh, they're 410 and 45. It's a gun caliber.
Wow!
Wow.
410 and 45 are the same diameter, often used in the same guns. 410 is a shotgun shell. 45 long Colt is a rifle round.
Oh, I
That's
see.
epic.
It's like they're kind of like the Royal Guard. Oh yeah, I'm 410. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, 410 and 45 are also very like hillbilly calibers too. So
Love.
Royal Guard, I don't know about that.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
So they're like they're like Cockney Brits.
They're, I suppose so, but they're also the type of rounds that would be loaded into the guns that Kinzo likes. So it's
Uh,
into
410
the cowboy
data
guns.
received. Anti-magic power levels are extremely low. If Ava just goes outside, they're tuna and abalone on a chopping board.
What do you think, great Lady Beatrice? When you give the order, we shall snipe right away. Please, your orders. You guys really are convenient furniture. Not at all like that old secondhand furniture that's only useful for gouging corpses. Right. Chiser sisters, or Chiester fuck, please show me your skill once more. Prepare to fire! And carry out the corpses again, got it? Because I'll play with them a lot. No complaints from you, right, Renove?
Correct, as you command, Comsiswell. At that moment, the witch noticed something. It was as though some presence had disappeared. Was it her imagination?
Was that someone's presence just now? Did anyone feel it? My apologies, I haven't noticed anything, so please forgive me.
Dude, I promise I'm just drinking water. Please be
Okay.
nice to me. My throat hurts.
Drink your waters.
Okay. We were in the middle of observing the guest house, so our peripheral surveillance was set to off. What about you, Lucifer Doc? Do you feel any presence?
For just an instant, Lucifer glanced at Renove, asking whether she should answer honestly or not. Oh, they're still covering for Beato.
Oh. My bad. He nodded.
No, my apologies, Beatrice Summer. We noticed nothing. Forgive us the stupidity of our second-hand furniture.
I see. If a great demon like you says that, then it must have been my imagination.
The witch persistently stared in the direction of the presence had disappeared to. That was where the rose garden lay, and beyond that, she could see the mansion's dark silhouette created by lightning. Okay,
Thank
that
you.
wasn't me. Okay, good. It took quite some time before she pushed her unsatisfied feelings aside, and once again faced the guest house.
Let's go. Let's go. They made it.
Stealth mission
Stealth-
successful.
Oh! Clock jump scare. Oh.
Oh my god, guys, are they gonna freaking they're gonna freaking revive Jessica right now, guys?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you flick.
The guest house lobby was wrapped in silence. The strings of tension binding Kraus, Natsuhi, and Eva had already loosened, and they were completely worn out, with their minds beginning to waver. Every once in a while, they would stand up and walk around pointlessly, as though fighting their drowsiness.
Are you okay, Eva-san? Please do take it easy and rest. It's kind of sweet how she's caring for her now. I told you, I'm fine.
I forget, why did they not like each other? Just like women stuff.
Women stuff, yeah.
Opinion on women.
Yep.
Generational trauma and abuse. the
Yep.
usual.
No, because she's like, because Natsuhi is like based red pill trad wife, and Ava is like, she's like LARPing as red pill, but she's really like femcel black pill. You know,
Yeah.
she's like, I'll never get opportunities as a woman, so my son has to succeed
Yeah.
instead.
Also shit with the family, remember? Because Ava, or Jessica was born, right? But then, like, then George was born, like, right after, and, like, headship shit, and Natsuhi being accepted
Because,
into the
man.
family.
Yeah.
because she's like, if only not woman.
Yeah. I told you I'm fine. The three of us are now the only adults. There's no time to rest. No matter what the cost, we must guard this place until the end.
Cuts to Nanjo upstairs playing with like action figures in his briefcase.
He's like, I'm one of the kids!
I could only bring 2 Matchbox play sets in my luggage this time.
Oh yeah, no, George was born first. I forgot, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, George was born first, then Jessica.
He's older, yeah.
Yeah, he's the oldest.
She spoke bravely, but she couldn't hide her rough breathing. It seemed that the fever, which had been calmed with medicine for a short time, had returned. It was very obvious that Ava's health was not good.
Take it easy. At least close your eyes. If something happens that you need to be awake for, we'll definitely wake you.
I'm telling you, I'm fine! Leave me alone!
Come on, Discord. There you go. It seemed she was already unwilling to budge. Kraus and Natsuhi realized that even if they talked to her anymore, when she was like this, it wouldn't reach her ears. So without saying anything more, they decided to let her be. To Ava right now, even having an argument like that would be burdensome. It would probably be better for her body if she just sat there with her mouth closed. In truth, Ava was just a step away from being beaten down by drowsiness. Perhaps she shot back at them with a temper because she was trying to rouse herself and throw off her sleepiness. The clock would be pointing to 6 in the afternoon.
That's the evening.
Very soon. It is the evening. 6 in the evening, very soon. She'd had several snacks to distract herself from drowsiness, so she didn't feel hungry. But now, her lack of sleep made it feel like it was 6 in the morning, not the afternoon. Even supposing that the boat came precisely at 9 in the morning tomorrow, they still had more than 12 full hours to go. It was an overwhelmingly long stretch of time.
Oh.
Is that
Is it, I'm gonna guess this is Ava, because this part is like
probably.
in their mind that I've noticed. Long, painful, hot. Even the sound of the clock torments my body now. In times like this, when that person puts his hand on my forehead, the fever fades at once, but that person no longer exists.
As Ava's As Ava's mind grew foggy, she was once again gripped by a deep sadness. She had already cried herself dry. Even so, the sadness of losing her beloved husband had not been exhausted.
I was wrong.
What do you mean?
Kill her! Kill her with your brain! The new witch and Ava were fundamentally the same being. If Ava talked to her, she would always respond.
I thought that if I could gain the position of the Ushinomiya family head, that alone would be enough. But then...
Ava in her head is just, you should kill yourself now.
But then, as soon as I saw that mountain of gold, my greed grew. I was struck by a desire to have that mountain all to myself.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. After all, it's your natural right as the Ushinomiya family head. How could you give up even a bit of it to anyone else?
I was gripped by that temptation, which is why you were born. While you are a young girl version of me, at the same time, you are also my self-centered evil heart. Because of my foolish greed sprouted by that mountain of gold, the shell of that egg that is my heart cracked, and you were born into this world. I am responsible for your birth.
In that case, when I killed Rosa and Maria, And then Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi. You were responsible for that, too.
Why did you kill my husband too? Why? Ugh!
I didn't want to kill Hideyoshi. He was just so annoying and persistent. And that's your fault. It's your fault for choosing a husband like that.
A child like you cannot understand what made that man so wonderful. Oh dear!
What the heck? Our dreams are made real with magic, right? We solved the riddle of the epitaph. Then we found the gold and got the head's ring. All of our dreams came fully true, right? What more could you want?
Those weren't all of my dreams. What about living a wonderful life with that person and giving George an excellent life? I still have many dreams that haven't come true. As a wife, as a mother. And yet...
Those are just extra dreams you added after becoming an adult.
Fuck you.
They aren't my dreams.
That's because you're a child. Do you only care about what's best for yourself? That's right. Everything is my fault. Back then, why did I resist doing what Rosa told me to? Why couldn't I announce to all of the siblings that I'd found the gold? It's all because I'm so hideous. My evil heart, which sprouted from my desire to have all that gold for myself, caused you to hatch.
Looks like you really hate me. Even though we're both Ushiromiya Eva.
Who came
No.
first, the chicken or the Beatrice?
No, that isn't true anymore. And it was you who said it. I am Ushiromiya Eva. And you are the Golden Witch, Beatrice. So just disappear. Witches are imaginary, illusions that only exist in fairy tales. Things like you should just disappear. Never appear in front of me again.
You should kill yourself now.
Yeah, you're right. I understand. I'll disappear from in front of you. And I am no longer Ushiromiya Eva. From now on, I'm the Golden Witch Beatrice. So, now I can play however I want. I don't even care about you. If only you just give up and die!
After having a very childlike tantrum, the witch who had once been another Ava vanished. Yeah, see, it's stuff like that that makes me believe your theory that it is Renove.
Yeah, right?
Because
so sassy.
the narrator always has a quip or talks shit. like-
Exactly.
My only thing is why would he mention himself by name? He would be like me.
Yeah.
To stay anonymous. I don't know.
For
It's
who,
just
bro?
it's just a headcanon. But I
Well,
like it.
it's a headcanon that's wrong, and I think you're not enjoying the media correctly.
I'll head your cannon.
Wow, you sound like a WWE fan.
Oh yeah. You're not enjoying my thing correctly.
I think it's okay that Charlotte Flair's a racist because she has a big ass.
Damn.
Oh God. Kind of spitting.
That's me with Lanny.
Be like, babe, you really won me over with how you were so racist and homophobic.
And you also have a large ass.
Problematic, check. Large ass, check.
All the problematic is stored in the ass.
I want to see Beatrice use atomic
Why do you think
breath.
it's so big?
Exactly.
Only Ava was left behind in the darkness, and she questioned herself. Why am I so problematic? Why do I have such a big ass?
Me? I killed them? Did I kill that person? Did I kill him?
She could no longer answer that question herself.
I coughed. You mean you don't read UMINEKO at 50 times speed in Japanese with Rikyushi himself screaming in your ear? The only correct way to read UMINEKO. Almost said Ushinomiya. That's true, that is the correct way.
It seemed that half asleep she had gotten some saliva caught in a windpipe, just as she was dozing off. Ava suddenly started coughing.
Are you okay, Ava? Please, Natsuhi, some water.
Yes. I'm fine, okay? I just choked a bit.
Okay.
Ava pushed away Natsuhi's hand as she tried to rub her back and unsteadily rose to her feet.
I'm going to wash my face. Sorry, I fell asleep. When I get back, I'll make some more coffee. Extra strong, so that I won't get drowsy until tomorrow morning.
You think Ava drinks cowboy coffee?
What is that? Like the ones
Where
they
you
make
just
on
like,
the fire?
you take a fuckload of Folgers and you just cook it in like a pot?
Yeah, she would.
Yes,
Damn, did my
please do.
coughing make you cough, or are you just hitting the...
Apparently.
Yeah. You cook.
Yeah,
Your
George's...
coffee's more to my taste than what Goda makes, that fucking idiot.
Oh my god. I'm glad to hear it, even if it's flattery. I'll be back soon.
Ava exited the lobby, heading for the bathroom. Kraus and Natsuhi watched over her frail back.
So, you sometimes do show concern for Ava-san, even though you've always been so much at odds with her.
Isn't this how an older brother is supposed to be?
Yes, I believe you're right.
It isn't just Ava. There's Rudolph and Rosa too. Instead of acting like an older brother to them, all I ever did was speak arrogantly and bully them. In my own way, I was frantic in my desire to be like father, but I could never match up, and I always vented my feelings on them. But that is no excuse. I probably gave Ava scars so deep that they still have not healed. I regret it, but even if I apologized after all this time, it would do nothing to heal those wounds.
Pretty sure it would fucking help. If you can hold on to that feeling, instead of only letting it last for this moment, I'm sure your siblings will come to see it sooner or later.
Though by now, Ava is the only sibling I have left.
If only you and your siblings hadn't been born into the Ushiromiya family, you might have had a more normal, more fun sibling relationship.
Yeah, because that's the real villain here, right? Is like Kinzo's parenting. Because
Yeah.
like, really the primary reason that they can't function as a family unit is because they're all burdened by one, like an expectation that Kinzo pushed on them, and two, self-loathing.
And I think that's why the riddle of the gold might be like an analogy for that. It's something that it's eventually going to destroy them all. So that them figuring out the riddle is figuring out how to function together as a family before
Yeah.
they take each other
Yeah,
out.
I think we touched on that before, because I was saying a similar thing about how, like, you know, since he views them as like shitty kids who like aren't worth anything, like if they can find the gold and work together, like, you know, Kinzo can see that as like proof that maybe his kids are actually worth something and deserve his attention.
Well, I think it's not like a thing that Kinzo gets to decide. I think just like the gold and the riddle and his paranoia was thrust on them, the same thing, like, that's just the tangible form of their intangible shitty relationships.
Mm-hmm. More water. Chat, hydrate.
Hydrate or
That shit is
dihydrate?
fire. You mustn't say that. Ava will probably continue to hate me for her whole life, and she has a right to. I intend to resign myself to that fate and accept it.
Dear.
Ava, I'm sorry. Of course you don't have to forgive me.
Of course I won't forgive you. What are you talking about after all this time? Oh, so now you're feeling guilty. If only don't you just give up and die right now? Do it, Chester sisters!
Damn.
Do you think the Ushiramiyas would be able to reconcile if the siblings solved the epitaph together? To be honest, no.
I don't know. I think it
I
would be
pretty
I think it would be a starting stone, but I don't think.
I pretty firmly don't believe that. I'm viewing this story as like a tragedy right now. You know, like they're basically fucking doomed.
45,
Yeah.
firing permission received. Reconfirming firing on, correcting for weather discrepancies. Data link to 410.
410, data received, firing permission confirmed, Doc. Firing. And they go pew pew.
Together, the sisters released the magical bowstring they had readied, even though they're both named after gun calibers.
Well, the bow is a
A
gun.
beautiful tail trailed behind the gold arrow as it drew a lovely curve as it flew. It was just like a gold snake. Natsu like sneezes and bends over and misses. It skillfully avoided a grove of trees and flew towards the front door of the guest house. It flew into the keyhole of the door and snuck into the guest house without any problem at all. The gold snake raced down the hall smoothly, yet fast as an arrow. Right before it was the door to the lobby. When it flew into the keyhole, Kraus and Natsuhi were already in. For an instant, Kraus thought he saw gold-colored sparkle in the keyhole on the door. However, at the same time, he strained his eyes to see what it was. That sparkle bent like a whip and attacked, wrapping itself around Kraus's neck. Well, you skipped over. I was waiting for Kraus' death rattle.
Do you want his death? Do a death noise.
I want to hear any do a death noise.
She clicked over, so I assumed it wasn't
Sorry,
happening.
sorry.
I'm sorry. He's like,
Beautiful.
Thank you. Just looking at it, the gold snake seemed very supple. However, it was as though a wire had tightened around Kraus's neck. While that snake choked Kraus, it extended even more and also tightened around Natsuhi's neck. Without even a chance to scream, their eyes bulged as they went into convulsions and then collapsed.
45, hit and kill confirmed. Formulating towering curve, revising capture points. Data link to 410.
410, data received, Doc. Initiating corpse, towing. We got both of them.
Wow.
These guys kind of suck. I don't think I like them.
The gold snake began to drag Kraus and Natsuhi's bodies back. They slipped through the door to the corridor, dragging the bodies gradually increasing in speed,
Damn.
and rapidly pulled them outside the guest house. So the lobby was silent, as though nothing had happened. As though Kraus and Natsuhi had not been there since the beginning. Only the sound of the wind and the rain remained, as they were playing dumb and pretending to be the only ones there.
Sorry, I'm fine now. I'll go make some coffee. Ruh-roh.
Ava returned from the bathroom, but no one was in the lobby. Even though they had supposedly been in that sofa until the moment she had choked and gone to the bathroom. They were gone as if they'd been an illusion from the very beginning.
How careless of them. Where did those two go off to together?
Ava put her hand on the sofa as though acting out a scene from a detective novel. she felt a warmth that meant they'd been sitting there until a short while ago. Maybe they went to do the rounds or something. For the time being, Ava sat down and waited for their return.
Ruh-roh. I'm going to George.
Jorg.
And Beatrice is
Gorg
like, you
time?
gotta
Yeah.
necrophilia, George. That's
Gorg.
the way to do it. That's
Gorg
that's how
time.
you gotta do it. Beato and George could be seen in the parlor of the mansion. George was kneeling near Shannon's body as though praying. His face was serious, and there was even sweat on his forehead. However, Beato was the same. Now that she had handed her name over, most of her previous power had been lost. Of course, she still had more than enough power to be called a witch, but compared to the past, it was a very faint thing.
Good. Don't talk to her. Don't touch her with your hand. Call to her with the voice of your heart, and seek her with the hand of your heart. Only your strong feelings can make my magic reach Shannon's lost soul.
George kept praying earnestly and silently. He kept frantically yelling inside his heart, trying to call back the soul of the person he loved. He strongly envisioned his soul leaving his body and searching for her as she wandered through the land of the dead. Beato turned that strong force into magical power that supplemented her own magic. This was magic that in the past she could have performed easily without anyone's help. But now, if she didn't rely on someone's assistance, she wouldn't be able to finish the chant, much less succeed.
I'd forgotten for several centuries. Was magic, was resurrection, always this difficult?
Beto was wearing an even more strained expression than George. It had slipped her mind, but originally the magic to revive a life was the ultimate hidden art. The abnormal thing was her previous magical power, which could be used over and over with the snap of her fingers. So the heavy burden on her body and mind was, fundamentally speaking, extremely natural.
However, this man's power, even though he doesn't know magic, is nothing to be laughed at. I see. So he truly is Kinzo's grandchild.
The strong energy pouring from George was large enough to act as a magical power. At first, Beato thought it must be the blood of Kinzo, the sorcerer. However, that probably wasn't it. She had a feeling that Battler had already told her what it was. It had been born from the power of George's sadness at the death of the person he loved, and from the way he had tried his hardest throughout life. From the warm time spent together with Shannon, to the sides of the dream they swore to protect in the future.
Is it really possible for humans to take life so seriously, even though they only have a single one?
She doesn't get it. That's exactly why.
It was only natural. To her, a life didn't mean anything more than the difference between the top and bottom of an Othello piece. If the black represented death, then the thought of all you had to do was flip it over again and make it white. However, it was just like that broken vase to humans in a world without magic, where they cannot return things to their original form. It is very, very natural for them to bet their life and soul.
So, is an endless witch, who can do as she pleases even with life and death, inferior to a limited human who can't even surpass the mountain of death?
This time the witch acknowledged it. He was able to hold a magical power that could never reside in witches who didn't understand the value of life.
why does this thing called the Endless Magic exist? Even though I called myself the Endless Witch, did I forget what the Endless Magic means for 1,000 years?
She looked at George's expression again. His surging earnestness was like a lightning bolt. Right now, even if George's body had been burned or smashed by a waterfall, he would probably continue to pray for his beloved without minding it, without noticing it. For the first time, she showed respect for that power. So in that instant, all magical resistance was lost, and the enormous power of George's feelings turned into a magical energy in its complete form. Ah, shit. Just because I haven't done it in a minute. The vase was very beautiful, rich with history and value. Oh wait, no, this isn't even. Never mind. I assumed it was narrated. Who's this?
Oh, I
Beatrice.
guess it's Beatrice. Fuck.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Scottish man!
Kill yourself, English bitch. That's right, I haven't forgotten.
The vase is very beautiful, rich with history and value. Even as young as I was, it still forced me to take a deep breath when I witnessed its beauty. But that just made me want to touch it. But the vase easily fell and smashed into pieces, like a bubble that had popped. It felt as though the time it possessed to form had been just an illusion. Lives are just that fragile, just that easily lost. I realized that my foolish curiosity had led to something that couldn't be undone. No matter how much I regretted it, no matter how much I apologized, the smashed vase wouldn't return back to its original form. A lost life will not return to normal, no matter what happens. I was frightened that, even though my actions had been thoughtless and careless, they had stolen away a life that could never be revived again. Then, I pitied that lost life and cried. I was frightened of myself, though unresponsible for its loss, and cried even more. I'm sure Grandfather will also cry at the loss of his precious face. I'm sure that all the people who love Grandfather and see him like that will cry. With the loss of a single life, the whole world can be filled with so much sadness. I cried even more at how terrible that was. Beatrice appeared and spoke.
Then, milady, let us revive that vase with magic. If that will make everyone happy, the vase and the magic and the spirits will happily lend you their power and return it to its original form. Come, milady, close your eyes and chant with me.
Come, try closing your eyes and try to remember. What form did you have? It was surely a very, very beautiful form. Please, show me that form one more time.
Shit. The butterflies in the purple void is a cool visual.
Yeah, that's
though.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Those words of power knocked forcefully on the door to the land of the dead. The magic of her old self had performed that same forceful knock. However, doing it that way was horribly violent and earned the displeasure of the peacefully sleeping dead. But this time, it was different. Let me blow my nose again.
Oh, shit. Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
It's cold today, so my sinuses are like, no.
Oh no.
It was very forceful and yet gentle and loving.
Ooh! Ooh, new CG.
The dead near the door opened their eyes and called out to the others. There was a voice calling for someone to come back. The sadness of that voice calling out from the other side touched the hearts of the dead, and trying to respond as quickly as possible, they searched for Shannon's lost soul. And then they found it. They found the casket in which Shannon was peacefully sleeping. It truly was Shannon's soul sleeping in the land of the dead. Inside the casket that was covered with rose flowers frozen with frost, she was sleeping in peace. The dead silently lifted that casket up, while at a glance it looked like a funeral march. It had the complete opposite meaning. It was solemn but filled with joy. The long-forgotten dead were made to remember that they were loved after their deaths. They were all given a warm sense of peace. Then, as though guided by a warm light from the heavens, Shannon's body floated up out of the casket. The dead watched her go. They squinted at that warm light, offering their respect to this unknown member of the living who had not lost his love for a person even after their death. Shannon's body was enveloped in the light from the heavens and began to disappear. The jet-black darkness of the land of the dead, the faint flickering of the gold butterflies could be seen. It reminded them of the gentle stars in the night sky which they had long forgotten. George, remembered being told that he must not say anything. He hurriedly covered his mouth. However, it felt like his heart was trying to jump from his throat, because he had seen Shannon's eyelids shake slightly. Then, those eyelids slowly opened. Shannon's eyes were there, but they were still wrapped in the fog of the land of the dead. However, the human world's warmth, no, her lover's warmth, which had called back to her soul, slowly dissolved that fog, and her eyes gradually regained their sparkle. Then, her eyes moved and recognized George.
George, son.
As her lips shook weakly, Shannon definitely said that. The words were very faint, so much so that they normally wouldn't have reached his ears. However, George had clearly heard them. He heard the person he cared for, his fiancée, the one he loved most, who should have been dead, call his name once again. Shan, do you know who I am?
George, son. Is this a dream?
No, this isn't a dream. Come on, see here. Even if I pinch you, you won't wake up. As George said that, he softly pinched Shannon's cheek. It was how George had always responded in the past, when Shannon had been surprised by something and had asked if she was dreaming. When Shannon felt the warm touch of George's finger on her cheek. And when George realized the warmth of the living had already returned to his beloved person's cheek, they both cried. What words would a pair of lovers separated by death celebrate when they are reunited? The words of the human world are not enough. In short, they had no need of the words of this world. George simply hugged Shannon, who was sitting up without talking. Shannon's strength was still feeble. Putting her arms around George's back took all she had. So George hugged her tightly to make up for that. To stop each other from going once more into a place the other's hand couldn't reach, they hugged each other so tightly and yet so gently. As Shannon's fingers curled around George's back, on her ring finger, the engagement ring George had given her definitely shone. The strong glint certainly wasn't just the sparkle of diamond. There definitely was a magical power only the two lovers could possibly feel. It was because the strong light that they had been able to find to casket in the land of the dead. Beato understood that ring. No. The feelings of the pair embodied in that ring were a miracle made real. In that moment, George definitely used magic. Beato had done nothing more than help him along. The magic had a power that only could reside in those who knew of the importance of life, who knew what it meant to try with all one's might. It was possibly the power of a miracle, one that the endless witch, couldn't possibly know of. A miracle made that only the power of the finite could give rise to. By now, she had no choice but to accept it. She had to accept that true magical power exists in the place furthest away from she who called herself a great witch.
Beatrice, Summer.
She brought you back to life. Thank you, Beatrice.
No, I did nothing. What revived Shannon was your magical power. It was your magic. The Ushinomiya blood, which makes miracles come true, surely saw you through. George-san revived me? Indeed, it was an incredible display of magical power, one that I could not hope to compete with. So, I am still nothing more than an apprentice. Now I finally know my place.
Beato staggered backwards. Her physical strength was clearly exhausted.
Oh, I'm dang it.
No.
Gosh darn it.
Bo.
Oh yeah.
The power of love! The power of love!
I was gonna say, this is definitely the least lame power of love thing I've seen in media. That was actually neat.
Fuck yeah.
She had humbly said that George's power alone had revived Shannon, but Beato had also used all of her magical and physical strength. And she reflected upon how difficult it was to revive a single life, something she'd been able to play around with however she wanted to in the past. The couple kept on embracing each other tightly. By doing that, those feelings that couldn't be communicated with a billion words were shared. Thank you, Beatrice. We're in your debt.
Thank you very much, Beatrice-sama. I'll never forget the debt I owe you for bringing me to George again. Stop that. Stop that. Being thanked by a pair of lovers is far too embarrassing for one who has been feared as a monster of a person. Don't worry about me. Celebrate your reunion together to the fullest.
Beato, who was leaning with her back against the wall, slid down the wall and sat. How many centuries has it been since she last grew tired from using magic?
I probably haven't been this tired since the time I first succeeded in magic. Didn't teacher praise me that time? Oh, but didn't I kill that same teacher who praised me? Don't be so naive, Beatrice. Isn't that what killing means?
Finally. It seems you finally remembered how to use magic.
My head feels parched and suffocated, and I can't even remember. More importantly, didn't I kill you? You shouldn't be appearing.
You are still allowing me to live even now. That is why I can appear like this. However, I did not come just to pat your head.
Did you come to sneer at how pathetic I am? Anyway, if I have my head patted by a retired witch after all that's happened, the other witches will laugh at me.
That's right. According to your bragging, you are not only a full adult, but a retired one. And yet only now have you learned how to use magic. That certainly does sound too embarrassing to tell anyone.
Yeah, tell me about it. Keep it a secret, okay, teacher?
Beato gazed. Yes.
She's glazing.
She's glazing. Beato gazed at the couple, hugging each other with a sense of pleasant despondency.
Love, is it? I'm no match. Oh god!
No, now they're gonna kill them.
45 data received. Firing preparations concluded. Ammo type selected and loaded.
No.
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 410, firing, Doc.
No!
And then they shoot them.
Oh god. Okay. Oh god. Oh my god. It's moving on its own.
The ghost they had
Oh, it's moving
climbed
on
the
its own.
stone steps, mansion's entrance, aiming for the keyhole. It went through the corridors and flew into the keyhole from the door to the parlor. It happened in an instant.
Oh.
It happened in an instant. One could hardly blame Beato, who's completely worn out, for not noticing it beforehand. Right before Beato's eyes, the gold snake flew through the keyhole, surrounded the two lovers, and pierced the two hearts in the blink of an eye.
Hey, at least they died together.
Furthermore, the gold snake faithfully pierced a hole through Shannon's chest once more. The two hearts were pierced by that gold snake? No. By that gold sewing thread of the new, brutal witch's furniture. And it had happened in an instant, mocking the amount of effort it had taken to revive Shannon.
Damn.
No.
Before Beato's shocked eyes, the two fell over and landed on the floor.
George? Shannon?
Thank you, Beatrice. Letting us meet, even just for a short while. Thank you. George spent his last breath thanking Beato and died alongside the one he loved. The gold snake, which still sewed the two in place, spun like a large cyclone, revolving around the inside of the parlor. It was searching for further prey in that room. Then, the tip of the snake met Beato's gaze. In that instant, Beato was prepared to die.
Oh!
At that moment, Virgilia stood in front of her, the fingers of both of her hands drawing a seal. Instantly, gold-colored gold leaf buried the inside of the parlor. It was like a blizzard of gold.
Beato, run while you can! No one can escape from the Jester's golden bow!
410, target lost. It's a magical chaff.
45, roger that. Modifying search algorithm, switching to anti-personnel image-based tracking. Target lock reacquired. Data link to 410.
410, data received. Too slow, predecessor Doc. Coming. Impact!
Oh,
Fucking Norwegians, god damn it.
Yeah, these guys are lame. This is all they do. They just yap, and they shoot their little bow, and they act like they're cool.
Prey targeted by the Shiaista sisters' golden bow did not escape. It could not be blocked. No magical barrier could even dream of blocking it without it being multi-layered. The gap opened during the instant of confusion caused by Vigilia's deception magic was Beato's only chance to escape. And it was the only chance to make the sisters confuse Vigilia for Beato. As Vigilia spread her arms wide, blocking the way to her beloved disciple, the gold snake pierced straight through her heart. After sneaking in through the keyhole, the snake shot through George, Shannon, and then Vigilia in an instant, completely failing to notice Beato as she used that instant to escape.
damn. Oh,
As soon as Vigilia saw that Beato had gotten away, she died.
she died again.
As soon as Vigilia saw that Beato had gotten away, she died. Yes,
Yep.
the strength left her body, like gold dust drifting with the wind. Her form was erased. Beato completely erased all traces of her magical power. It became gold butterflies and passed through the wall, escaping the wind and rain outside.
Damn it! You bitch! You bitch!
Beato felt regret from the bottom of her heart. Why? Because she had been attacked by the new witch? Probably not. Of course, she hated losing her teacher. And even more importantly, Beato was enraged at the barbarism that had boorishly stolen away the reunion between two lovers. Beato had poured out almost all of her magical power to reunite them. Even though the result had been a miracle, the time it took to steal that away had been so ridiculously short. Beato trembled at the barbarous cruelty that had brought about such an abrupt end. Besides, this was the true form of the acts she herself had committed up until that point. So just as strongly as Beato hated the new witch, she also looked at her previous self with disgust.
Kinzo, stop riding around. It's serious.
But now she had to escape. If she was targeted next, she would probably lose her life. To think that a chess player had descended thinking they were like a god, only to be attacked by the pieces.
Impact confirmed. Target scattered.
Bro,
Without a doubt, we crushed the predecessor Sama.
can they stop talking?
Looks like our pile of kill medals is gonna get bigger again, Doc.
What was that about loving couples? You get to enjoy tearing the two apart by death, reuniting them, and then tearing them apart again, right?
Well, you didn't really get to tear them apart again, they were together, so fuck
Yeah.
you, bitch.
And along with that, I get to say goodbye to that damn fussy old hag. Renove, you don't have any complaints, right?
I do not, Beatrice-sama.
That person interfered with the ceremony of the witch's epitaph, you see. She revived a sacrifice from the first twilight without permission, obstructing my ceremony. She's got no right at all to complain. But it sucks that she didn't leave a corpse behind. And I thought I'd be able to torture that old hag to death over and over again endlessly.
Yes, right.
You fucking
Don't ask me, Shizwa.
What is going on, peoples? Battler and Jessica and Nandra are just chilling, I think. George did... No, I didn't see him. When did he come down? Oh, never mind.
Oh boy, so now we're back with them. We're just not even gonna see the aftermath of. I thought she was gonna like confront them.
Damn.
Ginzo!
Oh my god,
It's serious.
Okay, what are we doing? Are we going to the end of this? Cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty tired and hungry.
Well, I guess it's up to you then, cause I'm totally going.
I mean, I'd personally kind of like to end because I barely slept and I'm tired, man. I don't got that much juice in me.
Okay.
Let's see, how long,
Like 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Very usual. Not bad.
Not bad.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah, bro. Pretty sure we're getting close to the end of episode 3.
I'm not gonna lie,
I'm
this one's not been as good as I was hoping it would be. I won't.
I'm enjoying it.
It's not bad, but episode 2 is better.
Damn. Yeah, you liked it because Battler got his ass beat, didn't
You're weird, bro.
he?
Go home.
I am home.
No, not anymore.
Okay. I got kicked out. Now I'm homeless.
Turn off the stream.
Okay.
Go home, man.
Okay.
You're gross.
Okay.
Don't fucking sexualize me like that in front of the viewers.
Sexualize you?
You're a disgusting freak.
Sexualize you? I didn't sexualize you.
Yeah, you're talking about me getting my rocks off to a teenager getting beaten up. You're a freak. You're a freak, man.
So fucking gay, the both of you. Good God.
Well, everybody, I hope you had a fun time with the stream. We'll see you guys next week. For more UMINEKOs.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Upload
I'm
the episode,
sorry.
so I don't think that's up.
I'm really scared too because I think I missed a couple in downloading. So
Awkward.
I have to see. I have to see what I missed, but yeah, I'll try.
Do you not have your thing set to record while you stream?
No, because that
You should
takes
do
up
that.
too much.
Too much what, man?
Too much everything.
Yeah, no, it'll pump out like an 80 gig file.
Yeah.
I don't know. We gotta workshop it then, because I'm able to do that when I stream, and my computer is shit. So
Yeah, it might just be like an OBS setting.
possibly
thing.
But
depends on what your
yeah.
output settings are. Anyways, I hope you had a good time, chat.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Ah!